Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Berserker Team League, Season 2 from Europe. It's the Valhalla division. I'm Linglad, and I'm casting on behalf of Team CSO Esports, and their opponents this evening are Angel Wings. Looks like we're up for some pretty good StarCraft tonight. This is a 4v4 or kill format, and so we have the following players from Team Angel Wings: Novo, Muka Shade Project, and Dext going up against Kaz, Trifax, Young, Yakov, and Moonbeam. So 3 Zergs, 3 Terrans, and 2 Protoss. So looks like we're going to get some good games tonight. If this is your first time here, please consider giving us a follow. Welcome to the channel. Hope you enjoy what we do here. We do try to bring some pretty decent quality content out to everybody, so give us a follow, get notified when we go live. We try our hardest to get some pretty good stuff to you guys, the viewers, and to grow the StarCraft community in South Africa, as we are a South African based organization that has everyone from Silver League, Bronze, Silver League, all the way up to our GMs who are playing tonight. So yeah, give us a follow, join our Discord. I'm pretty sure one of the admins can pop the Discord link into the chat, and yeah, welcome. Our first map for the evening is going to be Oxide. So yeah, we're just waiting for the Terran to join in the lobby, and we'll be good to go. So this is Group 2 of the Berserker Team League, Season 2. Group B, sorry. And the current group standings are CSO at the top of the log with 2 matches and 2 wins. A 6-2 score line with a +4 difference. And Angel Wings is sitting in 4th position with the 1 win and 1 loss. So it's going to be a pretty good game, I think, with this group, to see how this group sort of finishes up. We've got yeah, actually some pretty good teams in this, with Esports, with C Esports, Cascade Invasion, Team Gold Masters, and Berserker Pro all in, I think it is. So yeah, a pretty difficult group here, and definitely looking for some top quality StarCraft. It seems as though we're almost ready to kick this one off. Yeah, there we have it. Let's get this first game underway. We'll wait for the loading screen to finish up, and we get our very first PVT for the evening up with Novo taking on Cass. As soon as this load screen's done, we get to play intros and kick this. Oof. Still waiting on someone. A bit preemptive there on the transition. Excuse me. Well, let's kick us off. Spawning in the top right hand side with the red Protoss probes. Playing for Team Angel Wings, it is Novo. And in the bottom left hand side of Oxide with the blue Terran SCVs, it is Cass. That's a pylon scout here for Novo. Is definitely trying to see if anything's happening early on the side of Cass. Cass well aware that of the timing that this probe is supposed to come across to delay the building of that bunker, and so of the barracks, and so turns out an SCV. This probe is actually going to start to nibble away at the SCV building the barracks, and another SCV is going to be pulled off of the line. The two SCVs team up against the probe and drive the probe away. Kaz is going to rally his SCV to Novo side of the map. He's going to hop into the main base, have a little look around. Doesn't Nexus block with that SCV, so Novo is able to get his Nexus down pretty much early, and as early as possible, and no real delay there. He does have his probe patrolling on the natural of Kaz, and this Marine's going to pop and start to nibble away at this probe. Is he actually going to get the probe? He does get the probe. Nicely done there by Kaz. That's Novo losing his map vision. Kaz is just patrolling around with this Marine, just going to see that there's no proxy. Anything's on his side of the map, as killing that probe's allowed him to take his natural expansion on location. Second adept getting chronoed out here on the side of Novo, so Novo is sending his adept out to gain a little bit of presence on the map. This Marine's still patrolling around, so Kaz not overly confident at the moment. He's this adept, the shade from the adept is able to get up here into the main base, and it's going to start to nibble away at these SCVs. He gets one SCV. There are two Hellions here to defend, so the adept gets one SCV. Is he going to be able to complete his shade? He does finish the shade, and he's going to get the chance to nibble away. Gets a second SCV, and two SCVs for one adept. Probably not the greatest. I mean, he did chrono out that second adept, so it might have been good for him to have kept that adept at home, but it is going to be a robotics facility, a robotics bay on the side of Novo, so I do wonder if this is going to be I do wonder if this is going to be a I've forgotten now, sorry. These four Hellions distract me. These four Hellions pop into the natural and they get 6 probes pretty much straight off the bat. These four Hellions can take on this Adept. They're going to kill the Adept, and Nova really doesn't have much here to defend against these four Hellions. He's lost 8 probes, 9 probes. That's 10 workers going down this game so far. Oh, such a clutch pylon block there. Is this one Stalker is going to be enough to drive away these 3 Hellions. Sorry, as I was saying, I was wondering if it was going to be disruptors, and it is disruptors that are going to come out of this Robo Bay. These Hellions come back in and they get a couple more shots off. They get 2 more probes, and yeah, Kaz just trying to get as much done as possible. That's 13 workers going down and 13 probes going down the side of Nova, and Kaz is up 5 workers with double orbital, so the economic advantage is on the side of the Terran. But I mean, War Prism speed's halfway done, and I would really like to see this. It's only one disruptor in this War Prism, so I'd really like to see this disruptor get some pretty juicy shots off, get the Protoss back in this game. He doesn't have that big of a worker deficit, but it is going to be a disruptor and a single Adept in that War Prism. Kaz, on the other hand, he's got some Marines and a Raven here ready waiting for this War Prism, and I do wonder if no, Kaz doesn't see any vision of that at the moment. This War Prism is going to warp in another Adept, and Kaz unfortunately moving his... Oh, that's so cheeky. I mean, moving his units away from the edge of his main base there, just at the wrong time, and that Disruptor able to pick up 3 SCVs. One Adept goes down with that drop, and I won't say it's completely unsuccessful, but yeah, I mean, Nova would have hoped to have gotten more worker kills than that. Kaz is going to take this opportunity to push out across the map. It looks like Nova is going to look to take a 3rd base at the moment, and the Stalker is going to spot the move out here. Going to get a couple shots off, and yeah, I mean, that the Warp Prism's actually going to get recalled home. Couple Stalkers warp in here for Nova, and we're going to see if there's enough here on the side of the Protoss to defend us. There is 3 tanks with this push, and quite a few Marines here. There's 1 Disruptor. A Colossus is on the way with Blink, only a 1/3 of the way done. Looks like the Nova is going to try to flank with this Disruptor, and I don't think Kaz is Kaz paying attention. Oh, that's such a juicy hit. I mean, that takes the entire strength of this army out completely. All those Marines going down to 1 simple Disruptor shot, and yeah, this Disruptor, looks like this Disruptor gets driven away by the Vikings, and the tanks manage to finish it off. These tanks are still shelling away at this low ground gateway. They are going to take it out. There's a Colossus here, but I mean, the Colossus doesn't do anything. This Viking can actually push up into the main. There's no anti-air at all on the side of Novo. He's building another Disruptor now, but he's not producing anything out of his gate. Nova realizing that he actually needs some sort of production here. He's throwing down 5 more gates, but I mean, that's 5 more gates now as these tanks are sieging his natural. And he really only has 1 Colossus here. That's another Disruptor out here, but I mean, one Disruptor after Kaz losing all of his bio units to the first Disruptor. I don't think he was going to fall for that. These Widow Mines getting quite a few juicy shots off, and I think Nova did the right thing there of using his Nova calls GG, and that's it. I think, yeah, Nova just has no production at all. Just absolutely nothing on the back of that, and yeah, unfortunately for Nova, there he's forced to tap out. He really only had 2 gateways, and the second one being on the low ground there that got taken out rather quickly by those 3 tanks. Yeah, he just had no production for the follow-up push there from Kaz. I mean, Team CSO goes 1-up in this series. Nova gets such a juicy shot on all those Marines, and I thought that might have been Kaz's cue to unsiege and pull back a bit, but there was no follow-up army there on the side of Nova, and Kaz was just give him permission to just sit back and remain sieging his Nova's natural. As we get game 2 fired up, I'd like to remind you all just to give us a follow if you haven't already. It really helps us to get some more content out to you guys, and really goes a long way in supporting the channel. So do give us a follow, and yeah, thank you if you already have. Looks like we have our second game on the way, yeah. It is going to be ZVZ, so let's hop on in. Spawning in the top right hand corner of Jagannatha, the blue Zerg drones play for Angel Wings. It is Mooka Shade. And in the bottom left hand side, spawning with the red Zerg drones, playing for Team CSO, it is Trifax. So neither player going for anything too cheeky at the moment. Looking pretty standard. No early game shenanigans, which is nice to see. There's going to be a 16 hatch, 18 gas, 17 pool build from both of them. Well, that's what it looks like at the moment. Yeah, everything looking pretty standard on the side as we get our first mirror match of the evening. I think it might be, depending on how the games go, it might be our only mirror match of the evening. So let's enjoy the CVZ. Yeah, neither player doing anything different. Not much to say about this game so far. So both players pretty much mirroring each other. This is probably as standard as you get at the moment. So yeah, 2 queens, 2 lings. Really not much going on at the moment as both players take an opportunity just to get to a comfortable position, take an opportunity to drone up, and they're going to use these lings that spawn just to go across the map and nibble away at what should be a third hatchery timing. Yeah, there we go, the drones from both players going across to third base locations, and yeah, these lings are actually just going to miss each other on the right hand side of this map. As I do wonder what Trifax is looking to do with those two Zerglings, as the Zerglings from Muckershade are actually going to make their way to the third base and start to nibble away at this hatchery. Not sure if two Zerglings are enough to cause enough damage. Probably doesn't look like it. Looks like they're keeping it pretty standard, but this queen on the natural base of Muckershade is actually just going to choose to inject instead of actually getting pulled out of position. The Overlord from Muckershade actually driving away this Ovi of Trifax. And it's actually quite far off creep, but only two Zerglings here on the side of Trifax, and Trifax has both players going for Bailing Nests, and I do wonder if these Zerglings are going to go in for a scout. So they just morph into Bailings straight away. Two Zerglings of Muckershade do get into the main base. They get a little bit of a scout off, but nothing too crazy. Trifax has a couple extra Zerglings over here, and he's going to win that Zergling battle straight off the bat. So Trifax has, I think, more Zerglings on the map than what Muckershade does, but these two Bailings are going to make their way into the middle line, and that's a pretty good block off on the side of Muckershade. Is one Bailing's not enough to kill drones with one shot just yet, so there's another Bailing making its way. I mean, Trifax has another Bailing here on creep, but Muckershade is going to manage to clean that up, as there's quite a few Zerglings heading across the map. This game's starting to ramp up. Lingbane looks to be a little bit serious. These Zerglings are going to get a wraparound on this queen, but yeah, they're going to be able to pick that queen off, and these morphing Banelings are actually going to be ready, and yeah, Trifax has to babysit his Zerglings a little bit here, as Muckershade seems to have a lot more army here knocking on the door. These two Banelings are going to get into the mineral line here, and they're actually not going to get any drones. Instead, they're going to turn around and get juicy detonations on these Zerglings, as this game is starting to turn into something a little bit wild. Muckershade on the back of this, he does have quite a bit of army at home, but he's not looking to press the matter at the moment. Firing up quite a few drones. Trifax as well, both players sort of respecting the fact that this early game pressure hasn't really done much. Trifax is sending more Zerglings to the other side of the map, but I'm not too sure if he's going to get anything done with him. He's up 4 army supply, which isn't that much, but yeah, he does have a bit of map presence. He is on Muckershade's side of the map, and Muckershade is going to send some links to the other side of the map, and yeah, we'll see what goes on. Both players throwing down their Roach Warren. Muckershade is a lot faster than Trifax, but Trifax has +1 ranged weapons, is a little bit ahead of Muckershade, so yeah, Muckershade is going to get another Zergling into the main base, and still going to see no lair on the side of Trifax, whereas Muckershade has fired up his lair, so we'll see if he's going to make use of that lair tech, or if that's just going to be for +2 ranged weapons. These Lings going to try push into this mineral line, but they do get chased away by the 4 Banelings of Muckershade that are on defense there, so yeah, Trifax actually going to commit into the natural here of Muckershade, and it seems like he's going to catch a couple of these units. Yeah, not on defense here, and he's going to start to nibble away at these drones. Yeah, Trifax does sacrifice a few Zerglings there to those Banelings, but I mean, these Zerglings are now uncontested in the main base, and 15 drones going down. Muckershade does have some roaches that have just popped now, but he's firing up 8-9 more, and Trifax has 9 of his own back home, and I think Trifax is in a much better position here. He's almost got double the amount of workers of Muckershade, and yeah, both players firing up Glial Reconstitution, which is roach speed, pretty much the same, and yeah, Trifax taking advantage of the lair, even though his lair is a little bit later. He fires up +2 air weapons as the +1 air weapons of Muckershade's only finishing up right now. Muckershade is sending his roaches across the map, and Trifax does have a pretty good vision of this, but yeah, Mukashade is going to throw down that Spire now. So this engagement is going to happen here on the side of Trifax. And yeah, these Banelings aren't going to do much, but any sort of damage just to stop this attack now is really what Trifax is looking for. The Queens are pulled in to help defend this, and yeah, I really like that Trifax has managed to hold this attack off. Mukashade does have that Spire, so even though he's caught up in workers, he's down 40 supply now. I mean, he fires up 15 more roaches. Mukashade's sort of aware of the fact that Trifax can counter right now, and Trifax splits off a little bit of army to chase away these roaches of Mukashade, and he's going to poise just outside the natural here of Mukashade, but oh, it's going to be some roaches getting slow dropped into the main base here. Trifax is going to sort of pull Mukashade to one side, as yeah, 3 roaches are going to get unloaded here into the main base, and we'll see if Mukashade can split off the correct amount of units to deal with these 3 roaches. These roaches are, yeah, targeting drones as the main engagement happens at the 3rd base of Mukashade. Trifax has established a 4th base on the back of this, but Mutalisks are now being built. 6 Mutalisks get fired up here, and Trifax is taking this engagement a little bit before +2. I think this is a big distraction for what's actually going on in the main base, as 8 drones go down, but yeah, Mukashade is down 50 army supply, but he does have these Mutas. Mutas are on the map now for Mukashade, and yeah, we'll see if he can actually stop Trifax here. He does have roaches going to the other side of the map, but I think Mukashade really needs to get back home and defend, as yeah, these roaches just one-shot those queens. The Mutalisks are now here, but I don't know if Mutalisks can deal with this many roaches. These roaches are just going to march into the natural base here of Mukashade, and they're going to start to eat away at these drones. 6 going down already, as there's a counter-attack at the 3rd base of Trifax. Drones are going down on both sides of the map, and yeah, Mukashade has managed to evacuate his 3rd base, but Trifax has tunneling claw roaches. These roaches are just going to move over to the 3rd base and start destroying these drones as well. So on the other side of the map, Trifax seems to have dealt with the counter harass quite well, and he's got roaches split off into the main and into the 3rd. 23 roaches going down. This is a lot of damage here on the side of Trifax. Mukashade down nearly 40 workers at the moment, and down 100 supply, which is really not a position you want to be in. Yeah, these overseers morphing now, but Trifax unburrows these roaches before they take any real damage, and yeah, these mutas are actually going to be able to chase them away, but Mukashade is down to 2 bases, with Trifax happily mining on 4 at the moment. So yeah, Trifax in a really strong position. These tunneling claw roaches just pop out again and stop any sort of mining in the main base except for gas. So yeah, Mukashade doing a good job at clearing this up, but there's just too much here on the side of Trifax. Trifax up 130 supply, and GG gets called. Mukashade taps out, and that's going to be it for game 2. Wow, what a game. Very well done there by Trifax, who, I mean, was pretty mirrored for quite some time, and even the Ling Bane aggression from both sides was quite well handled. I think Trifax just took advantage of having more workers there and just being able to produce a little bit more. I like the early layer there from Mukashade, but I don't think he used it when he could. I mean, if that Spire had been maybe 30 seconds a minute faster, maybe those roaches don't do as much economic damage as they did, and Mukashade's actually able to hold on a little bit longer. But I mean, that being said, very well played from both players. Unlucky for Mukashade and Angel Wings there, going 2-0 down, but I mean, I don't think that was as easy as it looked. to be honest, I think Mooka played a really good game there, and Trifax was just able to pull enough units out. The tunneling clause is actually so good because Mooka Shade had no detection at all, and so those roaches were able to just burrow, and Mooka Shade just wasn't able to deal with those. They just kept popping up and kept popping up and kept popping up. So yeah, CSO is actually 2-0 up in this best of 7 all kill format, and we're about to hop into game 3. The lobby is made, the game is started, loading screen has begun, so let's see what game 3 has in store for us. And spawning in the top left hand corner of Lightshade, spawning with the red Terran SUVs, it is Project. And in the bottom right hand corner with the blue Zerg drones, playing for Team CSO, it is Young Yakov. So I mean, that was our only previous match, was our only mirror match of the planned mirror match of the evening so far, so we'll see what Young Yakov has in store for us as he goes up against the Terran player, our first ZVT for the evening. So yeah, let's see how this goes. Still no early game shenanigans, barracks being built at home for the Terran, no 12 pools or 14 pool, 13 gas or any of that. Pretty much the same, 16 hatch, 18 gas, 17 pool, pretty much as standard as it gets. And on the side of the Terran we've got racks building at home, nothing too crazy. It's going to be a Reaper opening, which is also pretty much as standard as it gets. We see the standard Reaper, Zergling, Micro. I presume that this Reaper goes straight across the map. There's going to be a look at Barrack Scout. The SUV is going to make its way across the map and just give the Terran player a little heads up as to whether or not that Reaper should stay at home or whether or not it should make its way across the map. And seeing the timing of that hatchery, Project knows immediately. It's no pull first, nothing too crazy, and he knows that that Reaper can quite safely make his way across the map. The Reaper is going to go to the 3 o'clock position and check, there's nothing there, and it's going to be, yep, as I said, it's pretty much a standard Reaper Zergling Micro as normal. Young Yakov does have that drone in the triangle position. He's going to put down that hatchery as soon as this Reaper gives him an opportunity, which is very nicely done here by Project. I mean, that hatchery is about 100 minerals late, and yeah, this Reaper's going to poke in the front, and there are some Zerglings in the Queen to drive the Reaper back, but not looking to overextend and try to get that creep tumor. The Queen is there to push him away, and that creep tumor is going to get down successfully. Yep, this Reaper's still poking in at the front, and yeah, it looks like he's going to try to get that creep tumor. Oh, doesn't want to risk it, and when that Reaper gets out with 7 hit points, as the regen starts to kick in a few moments, and he will start to regain a little bit of health. There are 2 Hellions now, so we're going to see the Hellions meet up with the Reaper, and I think this is going to be pretty good for just like some creep denial. Would have been nice to have seen the Hellions and the Reaper target fire that creep tumor instead of taking a shot onto the Queens there. These 2 Lings are actually going to get in from young Yakov, and actually going to get a pretty good scout of what's actually going on here on the side of the Terran. Another 2 Hellions meet up with the Reapers, and yeah, there we go. There's a fresh creep tumor there, and yeah, they do target that one down pretty much immediately as these 2 Lings are dealt with in the main base. So yeah, 4 Hellions and a Reaper meeting up in the middle of the map, and this is normally your creep denial team. It's going to be 6 Hellions and a Reaper. It's normally your creep denial team, and yeah, I'd like to see them push up and get some scans off and really make sure that young Yakov can't actually get that creep out, because once a Zerg gets good creep spread pretty much all over the map, it's really difficult to contain them, and the mobility of the Zerg actually becomes so high. There's a Liberator making, so I think that, yeah, there's a Liberator making its way into the main base of young Yakov, and I think a good timing of these Hellions in the Reaper is going to be pretty important for this Liberator to get some work done here. He's going to get 2, 3 shots. There we go. 1 Queen going down. There's a Spore Crawler here just to deal with the Liberator, but yeah, the Spore Crawler repositions. These Hellions and the Reaper do poke in. They are going to pick up 1 Queen for their troubles. There's 3 Queens do flank. That Liberator did get dealt with, as I'm pretty sure there was a second one being built, and yeah, there's a second one making its way. It is going to scout this 4th base here, so yeah, we'll see this. These Lings are going to, I think they caught a Hellion. 2, 4, 6 now. They caught, oh no, some Lings going down to the Hellions and the Reapers. A nice scan, and this is what I was talking about. This creep denial here from Project, it's actually pretty good, and it's not as easy as it looks with this Liberator that's going to pick away at some of these drones. The Spore Crawler repositions pretty quickly, and it's only going to get 1 drone for its troubles there, the Liberator. So yeah, it is going to reposition, and I think this Queen is, oh, that Queen just repositions, and yeah, that Queen gets taken out. The Liberator gets killed too, but yeah, as I said, this is the creep denial team, and I think Project's doing a pretty good job. It's 6.5 minutes, and creeps almost halfway across the map. So here we go. These active creep tumors are going to get taken out, yeah, and it's pretty nicely done on the side of Project. There are some Lings that are going to do a little bit of a run by here, a little bit of counter attack, and this tank nicely microed there by Project. This tank actually gets saved with 39 hit points. I mean, that's very nicely done. This Baneling speed centrifugal hooks is completed, and we're gonna look at some Ling Bane. Is 1-1 is on the way for both players. 1-1 finishing up for the Terran now. Is +1 Carapace is halfway done. +1 melee is, I mean, about a third of the way done. Young Yakov is going to open up these rocks, and now going to send some Lings and a few Banes to the middle of the map. Just trying to get a little bit of map presence and not let Project get too comfortable with being out on the map. Young Yakov was aware that, or sort of had a little bit of intuition that there was going to be something pushing up on this top side here, and does reposition his army just in time. Project is going to slowly start to set up his tank line, and he's going to push forward with some stimmed marines here as young Yakov sets up quite a healthy flank here. Very nicely done. These Hellions morph into Hellbats, and these Banelings actually do a pretty solid job at getting rid of most of them. It's only 2 Hellbats, a couple marines, and a tank left. Only Queens here. The transfusions are pretty good, but I don't think these Queens are going to be able to hold the line here. Yeah, as I say that, I mean, the Queens go down. These marines are a little bit far away from the tank, so they're not getting too much support here, but yeah, young Yakov's actually able to get enough Zergling Ling Bane out and drive the medevac away. That being said, on the other side of the map, there's 23 SCVs going down to a Ling run by, and young Yakov actually taking a pretty commanding lead here. He's nearly up 40 workers at the moment, and yeah, plus 2-2 on the way for both players, and it's turning out to be a pretty good pretty good game with the Hydro Disc Den. I wonder if this is going to be straight Lingbane Hydro, or if this is going to be for an early Lurker Den and the infestation pit gets thrown down. And this is a pretty good position here. There's Marines for Project do lift up and make their way to the south side of the map. A couple of Lings are going to sort of preempt that drop, and they're going to move to the south. But Young Yakov is being up to 5 bases at the moment, as Project is quite happily mining from 3. That Ling run by getting quite a lot of damage done, and Young Yakov going up to 93 workers right now. I mean, that's such a crazy economy. Project is looking to just deny some creep, and yeah, he's going to get driven away over here. He does kill a few Banelings and a few Zerglings, but Young Yakov is just going to take this opportunity to move across the map with mostly Ling, some Banes, and a couple of Hydra streaming in now, but not too sure that there's enough here on the side. That was such a bad lineup there on the side of Project, and there's just too much Ling Bane here for Project to deal with, and yeah, GG gets called. Yakov with a pretty solid game, dealing with that early game harassment, and yeah, closing this one out quite convincingly. Project did some really good stuff there. I'm really impressed with his creep denial, and the Liberator harass was pretty good. I think if there's a little bit better timing on the Hellions pushing in and the Liberator harass, I mean, he might have gotten a few more drones, and anything would do well to slow the Zerg economy down. But yeah, that's my apologies. I got the format wrong earlier. I do apologize. It is a best of 4 with an ace match if possible, and so yeah, this game 3 for Team CSO and Team Angel Wings has concluded already. I apologize for getting the format wrong in the beginning of the tournament, but yeah, it was a best of 4 with an ace match if everything was tied up at the end. But yeah, CSO taking the 3-0, and it's not as convincing as the scoreline suggests, but yeah, big shout out to Angel Wings for showing up today and giving CSO some pretty good games. Unfortunately for them, they do lose this match 3-0, and they played really well. I think they were just yeah, I think they were just outplayed a little bit, and CSO gets the 3-0 win. So GG to CSO. Thanks to Angel Wings for showing up. Unlucky there for getting the 3-0 loss. They played really well. But yeah, big shout out to everyone for tuning in. Thanks for tuning in. Once again, if you haven't followed us, give us a follow. You'll get notified whenever we go live, and yeah, thanks again. Thanks to CSO, thanks to Team Angel Wings, and most importantly, thanks to you, the viewers. Good morning, good afternoon, good night. I wish everyone a good day or evening, or wherever you're from. Take care and be safe. Look forward to having you guys again next time.